So, welcome back to another video. This will be which region is best to build your house in. Before we get started, I just want to say that this might be the only video in the next 2 weeks. I'm really busy next week, and then the week after that might carry over some of that busyness. So I just won't have the time. Maybe I might have time to put it in, but I really doubt it. I definitely don't think the one next Saturday is going to come out. The one on the Monday after that might, and then the next Saturday after that will. So that's just a warning now, but let's get into the video. I just watched Star Wars The Clone Wars, the last one, so now I'm depressed for 3 weeks. But let's get into this. So, which region should you build your base in? We're going to be in this map a lot this time, just because it's easier, and I don't want to keep teleporting everywhere. But we'll go to the end places where you should build it. We'll go from left to right, and we will base them on easy to get to, coolness, and usefulness. So, I'm going to not say anything about these islands, obviously, because they're just not easy. They're not viable to get to. So you'll have Linden here. If you're on High Elves, pretty good place, although it is a bit out of the way, so it's very difficult to get to any of these places, like the interesting places, so I would say that's a bad idea. Blue Mountains is actually one of the coolest places. It's one of the interesting, it's very easy to get to, but again, it's difficult to get to any of these places. Now we have Eriador. Just a bit average, isn't it? There's not much in Eriador. You can build there if you want, but it won't be that exciting, and you'll probably get invasions coming at you every single day, no matter what side you're on. Shire, interesting for about an hour, then it just gets a bit boring. Nice scenery though, but it's again out of the way. The same goes for Bree. Lone Lands, I'm not even going to state anything about these are just trash. The Angle, I would say, pretty good place if you want to be in Eriador. The Angle is the place you want to be if you want to be a ranger. Now, Angmar, very easy to get to, quite cool, lots of loot. If you want to go for Angmar or the evil factions, Angmar's a good place to go. Rivendell, the best High Elves place to go, Rivendell is, but it's very, very small. So there's not much here, but it's a good place to go anyway. Now, Misty Mountains, you can go there if you want to be in the Misty Mountains, just not great. Again, after this I will tell you which is the best for each ones. Now over here you have Lothlorien and Fangon. Both of these have some really major problems with lag. So if you don't have a NASA computer, don't settle in either of these. I'm not going to talk about the Vales of Anduin, but Mirkwood also has a lag problem, especially Woodland Realm. But yeah, if you want to be part of Mirkwood, be part of Mirkwood. But I would say you don't want to be Mirkwood because it's just loads of trees. If you're going to be a tree faction, I would imagine Fangon's probably a better view. Woodland Realm, like I've said before, can be quite glitchy, although it does look quite nice, so that's a good idea. Dol Guldur, a bit small, like Rivendell, but actually quite a good place to be if you want to be part of the bad factions and you don't want to be Mordor, because it's really in the centre of everything and easy to get to anywhere basically. Dale, yeah, it's just Dale, isn't it? It's quite average. It's good in every aspect, just not interesting, I would say. Yeah, it's just a bit average, I would say. Erebor, I wouldn't go to Erebor. If you don't have gen structure on, I would not go to Erebor because there's not much there. It's quite boring. Always fun when someone shouts a name, but talk about Iron Hills now. Iron Hills are good. If you want to be part of dwarves, I would be going to Iron Hills. If you want to be in a dwarven place, Blue Mountains are cool. This is just much easier to get to anywhere, and the time it takes to fast travel will be much slimmer. Wildland, bit like Lone Lands, there's nothing here. I would never be here. Dorwinion. Lots of invasions actually, weirdly so. But loads of people like it, and I really do as well. It's a really good faction. But it's just... It's again out of the way and not particularly interesting. There's not much here. There's a few structures, but again, it's just a lot of flat land every time I've been there. Rune, one of the best places in the game. In the middle of everywhere. Easy to get to lots of places. Well, within reason. Good faction, good structures, good everything. Solid place to be. I would go there, especially if you want to be part of Rune. Brownland, depressing. Daggerland, again depressing. Dead Marshes, if you stand in water, you die, basically. Immune, that's how I'm going to say it now. Immune Mule. Lots of hills, lots of stone things, very difficult to travel anywhere. Dead Marshes, I've said that already. Again, depressing. Depressing, again, Ithilien Wasteland. Ithilien, surrounded by orcs all the time. It's a lot of orcs here, so if you're not part of the orc factions, this is a bad place to be. Gondor, central, but if you find a city, this is a good place to settle, but a bit normal. Everyone settles in Gondor, so I'd advise trying a different place. Pelennor Fields, the better version of Gondor. No orcs will spawn here. Lebanon? That's not the right word there. Just a better version of Gondor, but not great. Dor en Uranil. Good place to be, especially if you want to be part of Swan Knights. Nice ponds and nice shores. Picturesque. And Blackwood Vale, just a bit. I wouldn't go here. You've got so many interesting places to be. And Peligir. If you're going to go for Gondor, either go for Peligir or Dor en Uranil. Now we have Mordor. Udain is full of orcs and stuff. So's Mordor and the Morgul Vale. So these are pretty average, but I would imagine you'd want to be on the side of one of these mountains, build into the mountains. Sounds quite like a nice place. The Morgul Vale is incredibly annoying because there are Morgul flowers there, and which you stand on them, you get sight, blindness, and poison. So I wouldn't go here just in case you stand on a Morgul flower. Nirn, but worse version of Mordor and Gorgoroth. Lost Leyden, I've never been here. I'm pretty sure there's nothing here. Half Deserts, they're just the worst version between Harrenhal and the Great Desert. I wouldn't be in the Half Desert. They're just not. They're so depressing when you go into them. Now, Harrenhal, you'll find lots of Gondor people and lots of Harad people. So if you're either of those factions and you're against them, this is a bad place to be because you'll be constantly invaded by Harad or Gondor. Harrenhal is the same, but there's no Gondor people. So if you want to be part of Harad and closest, this is a good place to be. However, I would say Umbar is better because it just has more interesting things in it. It's basically a better version of Harrenhal. Southern Coasts, worst version of Umbar, but still interesting. There's lots of cool features. Now, Corsair Coasts, really pretty. and you'll find some pretty cool unbar things, but a pain to get to, and a pain to get anywhere. Great Desert, you'll get hurt by the sun, so if you don't have the turban on the whole time, you will die. Arid Hills, yeah, you know, just the arid hills, aren't they? Grasslands, if you want to be part of the savannah, this is where you want to be, or the Far Harad grasslands, but it's a long way out of the way if you want to get to any place other than here. The volcanoes, an interesting place to be actually. I've been there a couple of times and it's really quite cool. Now you've got the Far Harad jungle. I would say it's better than the Far Harad forests. Ooh, that's weird. You'll find trollmen here. You'll find trollmen in the turret in Thrallgrim. How do you say that? Not in the Far Harad jungle. The Far Harad jungle is a cool place to be, especially if you want jungle builds. But again, a long way out of the place. And it's interesting, but it's a really long way. Mangroves aren't as cool as you think they would be, so don't go there. So, where do you think... That looks like a dog, doesn't it? There. So where do I think you should go? So if you are on the good side, quotation marks, I would say the best place for you to be is Iron Hills. They're just the most interesting place and they've got really cool structures. Other than that, I would say, if you want to be further south, I would say Dor and Ernil is the best place to be. Where Dol Amroth is, it just looks better and it's more... You'll find cities there. Now, if you want to be part of the evil factions, Angmar or Rune. Angmar if you want to be part of... actually, Dol Guldur also. Angmar, Dol Guldur or Rune. Angmar, easy to get to, lots of trolls, lots of everything. Dol Guldur, a better version of Angmar, but less space to build and doesn't look as good. And Rune, I would say here's a good place, especially if you don't want to be covered in orcs the whole time. So, thanks for watching this video, hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy, that's absolutely great. See you next time.